Hi everybody, welcome to our Omeka tutorial. I'm Hannah.
And this is Kimberly.
Hi. So we're going to talk about Omeka. Omeka is an open source platform that lets LAMs, so libraries, archives, museums, and all other enthusiastic people connect their collections and exhibit to the public online. So there really are two roads to Omeka, and what you see here is the road omeka.org. So if you're part of an institution that has their own server, you can download Omeka and create your own sites and host your own sites on your own server. What other institutions that are a bit smaller can do is go to omeka.net. So this is an institution that has not their own server, and you can choose a free account or these different accounts that you can see here. Based on the amount that you are willing to pay or that you're able to pay, you can sort of expand the way that you can design your own web pages. You get more plugins, you get more storage space with this, which is sort of the basis for your collection. And you can, as you can see here, there's a plus, silver, gold, and platinum account. What we have is the free account that comes with omeka.net, and you just register using your email, creating your password. So this is a very good way for institutions that are smaller, have not many people on staff, or have limited resources, to create the way to reach out to their community and sort of showcase their collections, and even create a more better open access for people with limited mobility. So it's a really great way for LAM institutions to reach out to their community. So to get started, some of the comments highlighted that they wanted a bit of an explanation of the key terminology, and so we created this page for you to talk about an item, which is basically the digital surrogate of the item that you actually, of the archival material, of the material that you want to showcase. A collection is a grouping of these certain items. An exhibit is a thematic narrative that sort of creates more context of items and their relationships with each other. And the plugins that we will get into a bit more later are coding add-ons, which allows unique features to be available for both the end user experience and the administration of the site. So the next steps, and Kimberly will talk about them, is how you adjust the appearance of your site. So choose the themes and everything, upload content, and we will tell you about how you can upload one item at a time and how you can upload multiple items using CSV or comma separated values. And finally, we will show you how we created our own exhibition, and we will leave you with a couple of resources so you can see how other institutions used Omeka. So,
All right, so as you can see here, we just listed a couple of sites to visit. So where I'm going to take you next is going to be our sample collection site. This will help me highlight the steps that we talked about in the previous slide. And just for context, the collection that we created is around my grandmother, who did a lot of genealogical research during her lifetime, and just kind of helps narrate that story. The other site that we have here, we highly recommend that you take a look at, and we'll bring you back to this page, so if you want to write it down at the end of this presentation, which shows a good list of websites and organizations that have used Omeka to create their online digital presence. And it also lists out the individual plugins that they use, which is helpful if you're trying to figure out if you wanted to use a plugin to see how things might look. So first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go to our Omeka site. Here you can see this is the dashboard that you would see once you logged in, and we have our site here. So we'll go to manage the site. So you see here, it gives you a really nice clean layout of the different items that you have, how many collections, if you're using any sort of tags, those sorts of things. This is the theme that you're using, all of that sort of stuff. And this is on what is called your dashboard. So briefly, we talked about plugins. I'm not going to go too much into detail about them, but if you wanted to look at the plugins that are available to you, you have this plugin option here at the top menu. You can click on that and it will give you a list of all of the different options available to you. Because we have a basic plan, we only have 14, but as you move farther along, you can add on different things, including something that will allow you to help edit the CSS directly on this page, rather than having to download and do things on your own server, which might be difficult for certain institutions. So let's take a quick look at some of the appearance options that you can do even on a basic level. So that's going to be under this appearance tab. If you click on that, you can see the different themes that are available to you. Again, the different plans that you have may give you more options to different themes. And if you are downloading and creating things on your own server, you would actually be able to create your own custom theme, and that you can populate in here if that is how you are using Omeka. You can change the navigation. So this relates to your main menu on your Omeka site. So you can, move different things around. So how they are ordered, you can go ahead and do that. You can add different links to different URLs if you needed to. So say this is like off-site from your main organization, you can add in a navigation link that will bring your users back to your home organization webpage. You can select where people land by default as the home page. And then lastly, for settings here, you can dictate, the maximum file size for the full-size image, thumbnails, how many items are displayed, both when you're in the administrative portal like we are here, or for the public. And any changes you make here, you just want to go ahead and click Save Changes so that you don't lose them. So the first thing that we're going to talk about with uploading items, you would go ahead and go to this Items tab here. And this is going to list all of the items that you have in your site already. One thing to note, so this one here, you see the star, this indicates that this is a featured item, which means when you land on the home page, this is going to be one of the items that is pulled out for your users to see. So you can either add an individual item on its own. So in that instance, here, if we had another image or item that we would like to upload, we could do that just by clicking this Add an Item button. You can see here all the different Dublin core metadata fields. You would just fill them in, and for the basis of showing what that looks like, we're just going to do a test one. You can also do item type metadata. So here you would select the type of item that you are uploading. Say you're uploading a lesson plan or an oral history item. For us, we have still images. So if we click on this, metadata that is connected to that particular type of item is going to appear for you to go ahead and fill in as necessary. You're going to need to upload the file. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bunch of metadata and nothing visual. And then any sort of tags that you would like. So for us, what we have used, as you're playing around the site, you'll see it's based off of names of individuals that are pictured in the photographs. So you can just type in, so let's say here, as you can see, it auto-populates. If you've had this tag used before, you would click on that. It says here, separate with commas. So if you have multiple things that you are tagging this with, make sure you use a comma to separate them. And then you would just add the tag and it would show up here. So if we wanted to upload this, we would need to determine whether or not we want to make this public right away. And you just go ahead and click that if you do. Again, you can determine whether or not you want it to be a featured item, and you can select any collections that you would like this item to automatically be a part of. And then once you add the item, you will see that it shows up here. This one is not available for the public, so it is listed as private. Now, when you're starting off with your Omeka site, you're most likely going to be uploading things in mass. So you're going to want to do a large upload. So we have gone ahead and added the CSV import plugin, which is available at the basic level. And this will allow you to upload. So down here, we've created an Excel document with all of the metadata fields for a number of different items that we're going to upload. So here you would just go ahead and save this, save as, and make sure you save it as a CSV, which we've done. Then you would go to the CSV import, And you can see here, there's a number of things that you need to check. Go ahead and select the file that you're going to use. If you've gone ahead and used the standard Dublin Core element naming technique, you can do an auto map. We didn't do that, as you can see, so you're going to want to unselect that. If you have, again, added specific metadata related to the item type, you're going to want to select that here. So we're going to select still image. An important thing to note, as you can see, you can only select one item type per upload. So you're going to want to make sure that in your files, if you have still images and audio recordings and what have you, that you upload them at separate instances, because you can only do the metadata for one at a time. Again, you can select what sort of collection you would like it to be, whether you want them public, featured, and these are just going to stay the same. You really shouldn't be needing to change those. Click next. So here what you need to do, because we unselected the auto mapping, you need to tell your Omeka site what things belong in what metadata fields. So this is the main column from our Excel doc here. So you're just going to need to map them. So this is obviously title. You're going to map it to the title field, subject to subject, description, description, etc. And then you'll import the CSV file and it will show you the status. And then once everything is uploaded, they will all show up in your items list. So that's how you upload files for your individual items. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is the exhibit portion. So we've created one exhibit. And here, if you go to edit, you can see this is going to be the main page of your exhibit. It is nice in the description here that you are able to edit the HTML. So you can do some things here that you might not be able to do in other sections of the website that you're creating using Omeka. Again, you're going to want to make sure that it's public. You're probably going to want to feature it. And you can change the theme of your individual exhibits so that they're different from your site. I personally wouldn't recommend it because I think that can get a little bit confusing for users, but it is something that I have seen other places do, especially if you're using multiple exhibits in one site instance. Here you can start the exhibit on the summary page, which again is this context here, and then you can add individual pages. So to look at what that, to see what that looks like, let's click on this one. So here you can see we've added a block of file with text. We'll show you what that looks like in a second. And we can say I wanted to add another item. This is going to be from the items that you have already uploaded. So you would just select one and it would populate there. And you can add the text. You can do multiple blocks. And so these are the block types that you would go ahead and select. And then once that is ready, you can save changes, you can save and add another page, and all of that, and go through until you're done with the whole exhibit. So that's just kind of the basic thing of how to create a very basic exhibit in Omeka. So what does that look like for the user? So here is our site. Again, here is the URL.
Ta-da!
And as you can see, it shows you the recently added items, featured item, a featured collection, the exhibit. So if we go into the exhibit page, this is what this looks like. And here's that Meeting Joseph page, and it highlights the image, loads that. You can add captions, multiple things, and it just kind of clicks through, which is really nice. And another thing is you're browsing items. You can see here all of this stuff. This test one is showing up because we're in admin. So you will see all of that from your end. So you want to make sure that you are aware of whether you're logged in or not when you're looking at the user end site. And lastly, here is this about the collection, me and Hannah. So again, just wanted to go back to this as promised. Here are the two sites that we recommend you take a look at. And thank you so much for joining us on this tutorial.
Thank you.